And the damning Casey review into the Met has concluded the force is racist, sexist and broken. This morning, Suella Braverman said London's police had a long road to recovery, but rejected lazy Labour claims that they lay the blame at her door.
There is the Home Office plan in response to this, on standards, on neighbourhood policing, on violence against women and girls, and on systemic or institutional discrimination. Where are those plans?
Londoners have been let down by the Met. The Shadow Home Secretary knows who is ultimately responsible for that. She shouldn't be looking to scoring political points today. It's a disappointment, and frankly, she should know better.
Despite accepting the findings, Met Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley has rejected the left's fixation on insisting the force is institutionally racist, sexist and homophobic.
You accept the full findings of the report?
I accept the findings of the report, absolutely.
The full findings of the report?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand the point you're making.
You know exactly what I mean, Sir Mark. We're
report.
talking about your suggestions that you don't accept that your force is institutionally racist.
The reason, and I respect Louise using that term, the reason I don't use it, I think it's a very ambiguous term.
I purposefully looked it up in the dictionary this morning. Institutionally means convention or norm in a culture, and that's what Louise Casey thinks is happening in the Met.
So taking all of that into consideration, what do you think? Is it time to break up the Met Police? Dan at gbnews.uk, vote in our poll at GB News. But look, I'm going to bring in three of the country's top cops now. Former police officer Harry Miller, founder of the Fair Cop campaign group, retired police officer of 31 years, Norman Brennan, and Maggie Oliver, a former detective constable and whistleblower, of course, in the Rochdale grooming scandal. And Maggie, of course, you put everything on the line to blow the whistle in your particular case in Rochdale. Do you think that the Met is corrupt, and is the solution breaking it up?
I'm not sure whether the solution is to break it up, but what I do know is that the Met needs strong leadership. It doesn't have strong leadership. If you look at the Majesty's Inspectorate, it's toothless. And if you look at the Mayor of London, he's useless. He's far more interested in ULEZ and locking down Londoners than he is in sorting out and giving strong leadership to the police force. So we do have problems, but the answer lies with strong leadership as far as I'm concerned, and the Met hasn't had it.
Maggie Oliver?
Problem is, it isn't just the Met, Dan. This is police forces throughout the country. My experience spans over 30 years. As a serving police officer, I experienced sexism, misogyny when I was in my probation. Obviously, the Rochdale case is why I'm known. And I literally went to the top of the organisation pleading for victims to be supported. And I was treated as though I was the enemy. So it is a culture. It is mismanagement. It is lack of effective leadership. It is the police marking their own homework. And I've been saying for a long time, Dan, we need a royal commission into policing. It is unaccountable. It covers up their own mistakes. And we really need massive overhaul of what is absolutely a failing system that is failing the public and in which the public have lost all trust. And the final point I would say, Dan, is that, you know, the latest experience I have is within the Maggie Oliver Foundation. And we are approached every single day by victims and survivors who are being blamed, who are being let down, who are not having their serious sexual offences investigated and prosecuted. Nothing has changed. And this review is very brave, but we need action now, not just more words.
Norman Brennan, I know that you feel like policing is broken and that the Met have certainly lost the respect of the streets, but I believe you have real concerns, Norman, at the concept of actually breaking up the force.
Yeah, we don't have the time to break up the Metropolitan Police or any police force in Britain at this moment in time. Policing is broken. I've been involved in law and order and policing for 43 years. I've seen the good, the bad and the indifferent. Today, I see catastrophe. I see a broken police service. I see the public failed. I see victims failed. And I see too many people within policing that have been blind to what's going on. We have too many frontline PCs that have no respect. They don't say sergeant, inspector, ma'am, sir. And the too many sergeants and inspectors that are looking for promotion, and that is sometimes is their primary concern over the protection of public and looking after victims and supervising frontline, whiz up the ranks to such a rank that they are detached from frontline policing. So policing has become lost. The public are the losers, and we are losing police officers today like never before. And unless we fix our house, not with rogue traders, but with proper professional police leaders with vision, passion, direction that are true leaders, I'm afraid the police service will not be reformed like it needs to be.
Harry Miller, isn't one of the great ironies in all of this? Oh, sorry, Maggie, you come in and then we'll get to Harry.
Yeah, I was just going to come in on that and say to Norman that, you know, I believe that the promotion system is in large part to blame for this, because a police officer gets to the rank of DI, and from that rank forward, you know, promotion is all down to cronyism and who you get along with and get your best mate into the job. For me, it's at the top that we need these changes. There are a lot of good on the street bobbies who are not properly supported, not properly paid, not trained effectively. It's at the top. And
I worry about them. I worry about them because, of course, my fundamental belief, you know, I come from a family of police officers. My fundamental belief is I want to support the police. But Harry Miller, you say one of the great ironies in all of this is that you look at what the Casey report has found, and it is appalling behaviour, you know, the least woke behaviour you could get. But actually, so many of the bosses are obsessed with these non-hate crime orders and appeasing the woke mob. And the two things really don't go together.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, since the McPherson report, and let's remember, we've been here before with McPherson following the murder of Stephen Lawrence. The police were invited by McPherson to check their own thinking, primarily to check their own attitude. Now, in 2020 to 2021, there were over 2,000 accusations of racism directed at the Met Police. Now, that should have resulted in at least 2,000 non-crime hate incidents. Do you know how many there were? One. The police have not put their house in order. Whilst they've been liberally dishing out non-crime hate incidents to the public, they have been willfully blind about their own failings. So I'm not surprised at all that we're in this position. And of course, they cover it all up by being woke.
Yeah, indeed. And that I all agree with. Norman Brennan, one thing, though, that the left seem to have become obsessed with today is this word institutionally. And I'm going to be honest with you, Norman, I have an issue with saying that the police is institutionally racist, institutionally sexist, institutionally homophobic, because actually that's then starting to say that as a society we are institutionally racist and sexist and homophobic, and I don't believe that, Norman.
We shouldn't get caught up with sideshows. We don't need them. What we need now is to get the public confidence back. The thing of what Maggie mentioned earlier on a Royal Commission, that will take about 5 years. I think that is far too long. By the time 5 years is up, the dynamics of policing would change. I'm here not to defend the indefensible, but the tens of thousands of frontline police officers that book on each day that are as disgusted as all of us about those that have brought the police service to its knees. If you want to know a solution, Dan, quickly, we need to recruit officers that are the right ones to join. The 9 Sir Robert Peel principles are what they all need to have. We need to make sure they're vetted, that they're right ones to join. We take them back to 16 weeks at training school so the trainers can pick out those that have got through the actual application status. And every police officer that puts their helmet on and a warrant card in their pocket knows what the public wants, and they have to rebuild that. We need police officers to be accountable, and we need to remember that a big bath of clear water, if you put a bit of ink of the corrupt and bad officers, it affects everybody. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let's let the dust settle and let's all roll our sleeves up, the public and the police working together. The alternative, I'm afraid, is dire.